Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for October 2021. So on Saturday, October 23rd, and for some of us, maybe Friday evening, the 22nd, we will feel the shift when the sun moves out of Libra and moves into Scorpio season. So Scorpio season is the least desired season among everyone because it is deep, it is dark, it is filled with destruction, transformation, unification, desire, passion, intensity, extremism. So a lot of people, of course, want to take the easy way out. They do not like to stand up to the face of challenge, to the face of adversity. And that's why a lot of people struggle with Scorpio season. Now let's talk about this for a second. First of all, Scorpio season is the number 8, okay? Scorpio season rules over the 8th house in astrology. Yes, I know you may say, well, technically it is the 10th and 11th month. Yes, I get that. But astrology, we are talking the 8th house. The 8th house, if you flip that over, that's the infinity sign. It is where there is no beginning, there is no end, there is just merely transition. And that is what energy is all about. That is what our life cycle is all about, is constant death, constant birth, constant endings, constant beginnings. That is the one thing that you can always count on, is change, is transformation. So yes, in astrology, Scorpio season is the 8th house. When we actually look at, November-ish, that is the 11th month. We'll talk about that when we get into November's energy forecast. But basically, it is a death, a rebirth, and a transformation in relationships, in money matters, in goals, in self-worth and self-esteem. Where Libra season highlighted the extremes, highlighted the division, highlighted the two sides of the coin, Scorpio season is where we alchemize that, where we turn the darkness into light, where we turn the pain into power, and where we recognize that there's a lot of good in this gray area. Scorpio season is meant to highlight what it is that we desire. In Libra season, we were really forced to figure, especially with the full moon in Aries, that was when we were highlighted to what it is that I want, what I need, what I deserve as the individual, Aries energy, versus the sun in Libra. What do we want? What do we need? What do we desire? Very much the ego versus others. I versus we. Me versus the team. And what we should have realized is that we needed to compromise. We need to find a balance between gently asserting and aggressing our actions forward to do what it is that is right for us, while still keeping in mind that, guess what? We are part of a team. We're part of a partnership. We're part of a group, a family, a collective. We do have to consider the fact that our individual actions do have consequences and repercussions on other people. But guess what? This is the time in Scorpio season where we erase the line in the sand, where it doesn't just have to be us and them. It can be a unified energy, a unified effort. This is where we recognize the things, the elements, the parts, the behaviors, the people, the patterns, the jobs, the elements of our lives that are falling apart for a reason, where we can grieve them and give them a certain death in order to accept, integrate that particular ending of that cycle and prepare ourselves for a brand new renewal, a brand new rebirth, a brand new transformation. Yes, it's going to get extreme, especially emotionally. Scorpio season is a water sign. Water signs are here to transform us. Water signs go through 3 stages of being: a liquid, a gas, and a solid. We can evaporate under the pressure of our lives and become that gassy element in which hovers over, cannot be seen, but hovers over. We can liquefy our emotions, our energy, be fluid with it, come and go. With the high seas, the low valleys, we can transform from the peaks to the very lowest points and everything in between. Or we can become very rigid, very rock solid, very cold, and turn into an ice cube. Those are the three forms that water can take. And depending on where it is that you're at in your emotional journey and where it is that you're in that cycle, you will experience all three or just one, maybe a couple, maybe all three in the run of the day. It's all how you alchemize the situations coming at you. Another fun fact about Scorpio, Scorpio is the only zodiac sign that is represented by three totems. We have the scorpion, of course, that dangerous little tail, the one that sticks to the shadow parts of reality, hides under rocks, hides in the lower light vibrational frequencies, ready to sting, to kill, to fight back at any moment, very poised in knowing that if it strikes, the opponent is dead. We elevate through that particular totem to the eagle. The eagle flies overhead, can see a different perspective, acts as the observer, pieces together all of the happenings, all of the situations transpiring down on earth. And of course, with a higher perspective, a higher understanding forms. That is where we gain our higher self wisdom. And then the last totem of Scorpio is represented by the phoenix. The phoenix who crashes and burns and finds itself in a puddle of ash, only to redeem oneself and to fly out of that ash, rebirthed as the beautiful fiery phoenix itself. This is the maximum level of understanding, the maximum level of alchemy, the maximum level of the Scorpio energy. And again, I invite you to dabble in all three. So yes, we're going to feel some passion. Yes, we're going to feel some intensity. All, of course, because we have to transform. And many of us, again, don't transform until we are pushed to a breaking point. Many of us found that breaking point in Libra season with that full moon in Aries. And now we are going to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, rise higher than we ever had before. We are going to put ourselves back together in a stronger energy than we've ever experienced. Why? Because we have sat in the depths of the darkness. We have sat in our pain, in our trauma, in every single dark entity, dark force, dark memory, dark shadow energy that was thrown at us. And guess what? It did beat us down. But Scorpio season is about rising above through the pain, through the trauma, through the darkness, through the pressure, through the intensity, through the drama, through the crisis. This is where we stand up. This is our warrior energy unleashed. We have a balanced playing ground now. Libra season is over. We started off shaky. We started off in extremes, and now we have a different footing. And entering into Scorpio season, we have a totally different perspective on what needs to die, what needs to be released, what needs to be surrendered in order for us to obtain the lightest form possible, which of course is recognizing our power through being backed into a corner, through being burned alive like the phoenix. And we are going to make some major changes. This is how we put ourselves back together, through healing, through alchemizing, through, again, with Scorpio season being in the season where the veils from other realms and other dimensions are at its thinnest, through channeling higher dimensional information, higher vibrational frequency codes, by trusting our intuition, trusting our higher selves, by surrendering to the greater, grander forces that are at play, and recognizing that our intuition is the only thing that we can trust. We are the only things, the only people that we can count on. We are going to save ourselves because nobody is coming to save us. This is where we recognize where life isn't fair. This is where we recognize that we have to grow through pain and through suffering. Scorpio season is here to fix us. And we fix ourselves through surrender, through death, through destruction, through putting the pieces back together in a better way.